And I wonder how this guy comes into play.
He's probably the
Because
next...
they said that there was another nation that gave them the technology for the dice. All right, time for the main event. I'll leave this to you, if you don't mind, Roland.
Sure.
Sure, I was hoping you'd say that. Dang it. Let me go back to the main character. The preparations are complete. The trial can get underway as soon as you have confirmed that you're ready. Well, shall we begin?
Why are you talking in that voice? Isn't he the really dark and mysterious?
Sorry. You're right. You're right. For whatever reason, I thought he had a slightly higher voice based on, like, the limited amounts I've heard him say words.
Really?
Anyway.
I thought that he had
We'll
like, a
see.
full
Hopefully
sentence
he
earlier.
says something in a cutscene. Very well. If you would please take your places. How about that?
That's fine. I remember him saying something before. Maybe this is even voice acted since it's major cutscene.
I hope so. Son of a... I hereby convene the trial of fortune of Master Pugnacious, Grand High Roller of Goldpaw. Being the defendant, His Eminence will be unable to preside over this hearing. As such, it falls to me to discharge his duties. I hope you will forgive my doubtless clumsy efforts in this most unfamiliar role. A trial is underway. And with the Grand High Roller on in the dock, no less. What in the world could have happened?
Why are you dressed like that, Roland?
Because this is a court of law. The defendant, Master Pugnacious, Grand High Roller of Goldpaw, bows his head before Lady Luck and submits to her judgment in this matter. He stands accused of dereliction of duty, specifically the knowing deception of his people. If the prosecution would like to begin by making its case. I intend to prove to this court that Master Pugnacious did knowingly and willingly, with the aid of a network of his most trusted retainers, defraud the very people with those whose care he is entrusted. Further, I will show that he distributed devices among his accomplices, which were used to carry out deception on a grand scale through the manipulation of dice rolls. I do not doubt you have found evidence of some trifling chicanery among the lower-level officials, but to allege that this administration, as a whole, is complicit in such behavior is preposterous. I do not, have not, and will never engage in dishonest practices of any kind, and to accuse me of such is to defame my character and to call my good name into question. Perhaps you will permit those present to withhold judgment on the matter of your innocence until I have presented my proof. Roland offers up the set of signed instructions as proof. But what is the meaning of this? I think you know very well, after all. This document was written by you, was it not? Ladies and gentlemen, I present the prosecution's key exhibit, written instructions for the assembly of manipulable dice, clearly signed by Master Pugnacious. Does the accused have anything to say in his defense?
Objection! No, I'm kidding.
Only that my prior outburst was merely an expression of shock at the brazenness of this shameless act. I've never seen this document in my life. To stoop to the fabrication of evidence is a pitiful tactic indeed. It's a forgery, plain and simple. Why don't we let Lady Luck be the judge of that? By all means. It seems that both sides are satisfied to entrust the judgment on this matter to the Mistress of Fortune. May the die roll stand as the undisputed word of truth. Lady Luck, grant us an even number, if this evidence be false. If otherwise, let the number be odd. Time to show the people of Goldpaw just how badly they've been misled.
Even the evidence is judged to be false. Lady Luck has spoken.
Ow. Righto, Your Majesty.
Ha! Oh!
What is happening? The die. Something is wrong with the die.
Which brings us to the crux of the prosecution's case. That Master Pugnacious knowingly manipulated Lady Luck.
What? No!
Yeah, with this remote control thingy.
But this... By the use of the remote control, the outcome of Lady Luck's dice rolls can be readily manipulated. The prosecution was able to visit the place where the devices are manufactured, and to procure one for its own purposes, namely the demonstration of the fraud.
Master Pugnacious deliberately kept the taxes high and stole Niall's forest from him. And all using this horrible trick.
Master Pugnacious.
Can this really be true?
Cheat! Deceiver!
Shame on you! You're the Grand High Roller! Don't you have anything to say for yourself?
Possessed by darkness?
All that I did for Goldpaw. I had to make my nation rich. Richer than any other. It was the only way. The bond with his people is weakening. Soon it will be time.
What's that?
It's the Kingmaker, Longfang!
He doesn't look happy.
Longfang? Here in the city? But why?
Master Pugnacious, your right to rule has been tested and found wanting. My plan is complete. Your king's bond is mine!
Wait!
Longfang,
Baker?
Butcher, Baker, Kingmaker. Funny. Where are we? Flip! It's an interdimensional dimension, isn't it? And if we don't do something, it'll eat up this whole kingdom.
What? What? Then we have to stop Longfang.
You went wrong there.
You're not wrong there, my boy. Come on, let's knock some sense into back into old Bitey, shall we? Good thing you're over-leveled. You jest, surely. That there ain't just a kingmaker. 'Tis a kingmaker gone doolally. A blessed realm wrecker. Wrecker. Don't be like that, mon. Where there's a will, there's a way. He's lost his marbles in it. Which means he can't keep a lid on all that power. And when that happens to power what happens to a power you can't keep a lid on? That's right, it comes flying out at you. And the places where it comes flying out are exactly the right places to wallop. Hit him right where it hurts, and you'll hurt him good and proper. Oh, and don't worry about knowing where these special spots are. Thanks to your bond with yours truly, you'll be able to spot them no problem.
Here goes nothing.
Weak spots. Realm wreckers are kingmakers that have lost control of their enormous power and run wild as a result. This power escapes them in bright, glowing bursts. beat the tar out of them.
Ah, so this is the classic boss battle that happens on a platform and they attack, right?
Yep. I'll just sit here and block, I think. Guess I might
Make
as well.
yourselves useful.
High makers. High makers are mysterious entities.
Hig makers.
Oh, hig makers. Okay.
But so they're
Mysterious
like
entities
higglies.
that have absorbed the power of kingmakers, giving them the ability to exploit their weaknesses when long enough for them to gather. They're born from items into which a kingmaker has instilled his power. If you smash up anything a kingmaker creates, you might just find some. When enough have appeared, the gold circle will surround them and they'll beckon you over to press A to call on their always impressive assistance. Okay.
Eat this.
You only get them in the interdimensional dimension.
Okay. Well, there's
Send them
something.
off.
Eat this.
Wailing on his hand.
Take that.
Nice. Oh, hit his head. This is his.
Okay, there we go. I was trying to activate the
Oh,
hig
look at
makers.
those. Are those gaseous in his arms?
Yes.
Ooh.
Eat this. Take that.
Wow, this is ludicrously easy.
I like how they based it off of the Chinese lion dogs. You know, the ones that are always guarding imperial
Yeah.
palaces and stuff.
It's just also, like, comically easy. Like, usually I'm like, boss enemies to have way too much health and it gets stupid. This is the exact opposite.
This begs the question of whether or not the Snake Man is actually also in league with the mouse. And
Probably. Probably the mouse is just a pawn. Wow, that's something.
Take that.
Oops, missed completely.
almost, watch out for hand smash. Almost.
What blocking is for. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, it just kind of has weird, gross, gashed up arms.
Well, that's what would happen once you damaged it, too. Wait, Pugnacious is alive?
This here's the square, ain't it?
Phew, we're back. I suppose this means Longfang really has calmed down. For now, at least.
Guess we better tie up some loose ends, huh? I have done the unforgivable. My desire to lift my kingdom out of poverty became an all-consuming greed. That weakness made me vulnerable, and he exploited it.
Who is he? The one who stole your king's bond?
He came to me some months ago. He promised secret knowledge of ways in which our nation might be made yet greater, and in return he sought high office. It was he who suggested that the dice be manipulated, who gave me the means by which it might be done. When did I fall under his spell, and how? How could I have allowed such a thing to happen? We managed to calm your kingmaker down, but without your king's bond, will things be okay? Here be okay? You have bought us a little time. He will sleep a while yet. But in time, he will reawaken, and in the absence of the bond, he will seek to destroy our kingdom once again. But why? Curses, Scaly Pate. There ain't a jot of rhyme or reason to such wanton savagery.
Not now, shh. Master Pugnacious, for the sake of your kingdom, for the sake of your bond, will you help us? Forgive me. I haven't even introduced myself properly. I am Evan Pettywhisker of the House of Tildrum. I have formed a pact with the Kingmaker of the Cradle of Light, and mean to found a new nation in the Heartlands. Will you stand with me?
So that is what I sensed in you. It was plain to me from the first that you were no ordinary child. But what is it you propose?
I want to protect our world. I want to make sure that nobody else has to lose what's most important to them, and I want you to help me.
I will do all that I can, of course. I fear that he who stole my king's bond may not be satisfied with mine alone. This being so, we must stand together with our brother nations, or lose all that is most dear to us. With this in mind, I mean to return Niall's forest to him. Indeed, I mean to return all that I stole. Word of my decision has been sent to Niall already, of course.
Thank you.
Really? Thank you so much, Master Pugnacious.
Goldpaw will rise again, and his people with it. I wish you good fortune on your quest, friends. Sweet, and everybody's leveled up. So now, we've got more on Leaf Book.
Leaf Book?
We'll do Leaf Book later, though.
Well, can you talk with Niall?
Yeah, let's go talk to Niall.
It's not like the Nile River.
Fine. Niall. Whoops, wrong one.
I really hope that we have a cutscene where his name is said.
Niall. Scratch my back.
Crevens?
Ye beauties, ye bonny wee beauties. I've got my forest back, and it's all thanks to yourselves. You can have all the trees you want. Knock yourselves out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now we can finally start building our kingdom.
Wait, Niall, Pugnacious and had his king's bond stolen by a creepy snake-headed weirdo. You wouldn't.
Oops. I apparently accidentally nudging the trigger progresses dialogue.
Okay.
I did this.
Okay. You wouldn't know who he was, would you? I'll just,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Stolen!
Oh,
Jings!
stolen.
His kingmaker must be tearing the place to pieces.
Aye.
I wanted to, sure enough, but we taught it a little lesson it won't forget. Goldpaw's safe, for now. King's bond stealing's no mean feat, though. He didn't happen to be infusing things with an awfully filthy fog, did he?
Yes. A sort of purple aura.
That'll be the Horned One's doing then, right enough? The Horned One? The old kingmaker of the place called Allegoria. A nasty piece of work, and no mistake. For someone to be using the beastie's powers would have to mean...
Aye.
I cannot see it being anyone but Dolaran. He was the king that shared a bond with the creature. So we just need to go to this Allegoria place and get the bond back, right? You'll have a job doing that, I'm afraid. Allegoria hasn't existed for, 2,000 years or more now. It disappeared along with the land on which it stood.
Golly.
So he's the king of a country which hasn't existed for centuries.
Ah!
What does that mean? Is he a ghost or something?
Whatever he is, I'd say he's looking to pinch other people's king's bonds in order to try and bring back the Horned One somehow. And if he does that, the whole world will be filled with purple fog before you can say we're doomed. So Pugnacious was right. He'll be trying to steal more king's bonds. What are you looking at me for, Mun?
Then we mustn't let him succeed. We can't let him bring back the Horned One.
We sure can't. But if we're going to stop him, we'll need the strength of an entire kingdom. A kingdom we haven't even started building yet.
Then let's get to work, shall we?
Arr, time to get to building, me hearties. Aye, sounds like a plan, right enough. I'd best come with ye. You'll be needing my help.
Really?
Speaking of which, things will be getting underway by now, I reckon.
Look.
I smells a smell on the wind. That a progress. Seems the mangy dogs got tired of twiddling their thumbs.
Oh my!
I really thought they were going to continue the cutscene and actually say Niall's name for once. I've been wanting that this whole time.
No.
Like, thank you, Niall, for helping us.
No.
But okay.
Now I need you to wipe my jowls.
Where did all these people come from?
I see sky pirates, greenlings, and even a few people from Ding Dong Dell.
They must all want to be citizens of our amazing new kingdom.
At the most, right enough. But how did the swabs even know to come a-knocking? You've me to thank for that, son. I did not expect so many to turn up so soon, to be honest. I put the word out on the street, you can? Leaf book. A wee thank ye for getting the old forest back, like. That's more than we could have hoped for. Oh, think nothing of it. I ask only a teensy-weensy of favors in return, that ye make me your Minister of Finance. There's none can pinch a penny like I can.
'Cause you're a leprechaun.
But he gambled his entire kingdom away.
Yeah, that would sort of be a problem, wouldn't it?
Well, I guess we fixed the casino problem. So, he'll only fairly gamble the kingdom away as opposed to unfairly do so.
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.
So if Niall was the Minister of Finance, I guess that makes Batu the Minister of Defense? The swab's in charge of fighting, you mean? I like the sound of that. That's a good deal, yahar. And I guess I can be your advisor. I have a little experience running a country. I'm sure I can help out here and there.
No. You'll be my chief consul. I'm no politician, Roland. I shall need your help.
Well then, that's very kind of you, Evan. I don't know if I'll be...
It's the king's job to appoint his ministers, correct? Then I hereby appoint you chief consul.
Well, alright then. Chief consul it is. By royal appointment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roland.
No problem. Happy to see you finally taking the lead.
I suppose I am, aren't I? I'm still not sure if I'll be up to the job, but I have to try. And thanks to all of you, I finally feel ready to. I'll try my best, for your sakes, and for mine.
Flip, Mud, I almost forgot. If we're building a kingdom, we need a proper tidy name, innit? To make things official, like.
I've been doing some thinking about that.
I've decided to call our kingdom Evermore. Well, what do you think?
The whole happily ever after kind of thing.
Yeah. Evermore, huh? I like it. Did you come up with that yourself?
Oh no! It's from an ancient story. The story of a great kingdom whose people were so happy that they wished it could last forever. Oh, that they wished for it to last forever.
Huh, fitting.
All right, Mr. King. You've named your country. Time to address your adoring citizens.
Yahar! Sorry, was mildly distracted. People are asking for D&D tonight. I'm kind of confused.
Listen up, ye Meiji curs. King Evan's got a rousing speech for you. Pay attention.
Huh? Thank you all. Building our new kingdom won't be easy. But we will build it. A beautiful, bountiful kingdom where everyone can live happily ever after.
Wow.
I want you all to join me on this journey. The road ahead may be a long one, but at the end of it, there is hope.
There's King Liwa.
That wasn't half bad.
Nice speech, Evan. Couldn't have done better myself.
This is where it all begins. Here and now, our kingdom.
We're with you to the bitter end, lad. Come hell or high water.
Thank you, all of you.
So the people who had heeded Neil's call and flocked to the Heartlands set about building their new nation. And Evermore took its first faltering steps on the road to becoming a kingdom. A kingdom where everyone could live happily ever after. Just as Aranella had wished. Or so they hoped.
Neil?
You can't gloat. We were both wrong.
I was right about the ni sound, but the all is you. Ah.
For someone with a brand new kingdom, you don't look very happy.
I am happy, but I'm worried. There's still so much we don't know. And now there's a force bent on destroying our whole world. How can I ever hope to overcome something like that?
You can't, on your own. But you're not on your own, are you?
No, not anymore. I have friends beside me. The best friends I could ever hope for.
That's right. So turn to them when you need to, and take it one step at a time. You'll get there in the end.
I suppose so. I can only do my best after all.
Exactly. And your best is only going to get better. I'll see you again soon, Evan.
Yes. See you soon.
I think you need to address things.
I will in a second.
Evermore.
I wanted to see if it would get me to a free spot. But it's probably going to toss us immediately into dialogue, isn't it? Wow, this is fast.
Look at all the little chimes and
I
the
like the
pillars
style.
and...
Looks cool.
Huh.
Evermore is beginning to look like a real kingdom.
It is, isn't it?
I think it's time we had a little talk about how a country needs to be run, if that's all right with you.
Of course. I'll gather everyone together